All right, next case, Ms. Gonzalez, identify yourself for the record and tell me who you represent.
Good morning, Judge Savannah Gonzalez for Alan Eoff, and this is Roby Flores is opposing counsel, Judge. Let me get you that cause number. F 1193-17-1. Ms. Cynthia Del Bosque is the guardian ad litem in this matter.
Is Ms. Del Bosque available?
I believe she's on screen. I just don't see her image.
All right, and Mr. Flores, identify yourself for the record, please.
Yes, sir. Roby Flores on behalf of Bonnie Williams, and she's in the waiting room somewhere.
It's Bonnie who? Williams?
Yes.
And Ms. Gonzalez, you represent who?
I represent the father, Alan Eoff, E-O-F-F.
Okay. Give me a minute, see if Ms. Del Bosque shows up, and also let me check and see. I think you all may have filed some exhibits. I'm gonna see if I can get those and print them out so I can look at them if necessary.
Judge, the exhibits were related to the order. I have since signed the proposed order that was submitted. What Mr. Flores had submitted was the transcript reflecting that,
Okay.
and it has been accepted already as a proposed order by the clerks.
All right, Ms. Del Bosque, good morning.
Good morning, Judge. Cynthia Cantu del Bosque as ad litem on the child or for the child.
Okay. All right, so do I need to address anything at this time if you already have agreed to the order that I proposed?
I don't believe so.
Right, I don't think so, Judge. I think we needed to get a status on Ms. Del Bosque. However, my client has brought something to my attention that I don't know if necessarily disqualifies her, but I do feel the need to disclose. When this matter was brought up in 2017, my client is telling me that he consulted directly with Ms. Del Bosque, trying to hire her. I don't know that she remembers that or that that's in her file at any time, but he did consult with her directly for hire.
All right, well, I suppose that would be Ms. Del Bosque's recollection. Also, who do we have on the screen? Is that your client?
In the
Yes,
Dallas Cowboys shirt, yes.
Okay, can you hear us, sir?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Ms. Del Bosque, do you wanna maybe have time to look into this matter to see if Mr. Adolf did actually contact you in 2017 and
Yes,
try to-
Judge. He didn't mention that to me when I met with him. I do not remember him. And I mean, that's a name that would probably stand out, but I can check my files to see if there was a consult back in 2017.
Okay, all right.
Judge, can I interject a little bit? Really, the conflict would be for us, because if anyone would feel uncomfortable with the fact that he consulted would be us. I'm just going to represent to the court that was so long ago. And if she didn't actually get hired, because I was the original lawyer, I never dealt with Ms. Del Bosque in the case. So I don't have an objection on that issue. The objection would really be coming from us and not from Mr. Eoff. And based on that, I don't have an objection, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Gonzalez?
Judge, I just felt the need to disclose that, and I think my client felt a little uncomfortable not having mentioned that earlier, so we wanted to be fair and present that in all candor to the court, Judge.
Okay, well, I mean, it would be an issue for Ms. Del Bosque to tell the court if she felt that maybe she had a conflict. I'm sure that any of you, counsel, would indicate to the court if you have a conflict concern. I'll be with you in a minute. Okay, hold on.
Yes.
Sorry, babe. Are you still on? Are you still on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll call it that. Talking to my wife.
My son's therapist is right as the Zoom comes on, and I'm like, wait, just stay with him for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm not at the office right now, so I don't have my files for the consults from 2017. I would have to look for that. I don't have those.
If the issue is that he
readily.
only talked to you and you really didn't get retained, I don't have a problem.
Yeah,
I
didn't want that to be an issue that comes up later, and you know, we didn't disclose it. So he did mention it this morning, and you know, just whatever notes are there, especially because it's the same parties, same issues kind of coming up. So I didn't want for that to come back and be something that we're hiding.
All right,
from.
Ms. El Bosque,
Yes.
I'll let you review your notes if you have them, or your consultation back 3 years ago, and then you tell me if you rather not be appointed, then certainly we can consider somebody else. But as far as this hearing or this morning's status, you all have agreed on the proposed orders, and so I don't need to make any decisions or enter any type of orders at this time. All I would say is both for Ms. Is it Williams?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Williams and Mr. Edoff, right?
Oh,
I'm sorry, and I keep
Okay.
saying it wrong.
That you all
I-
continue working together to try to make this matter a lot more easy and more acceptable rather than be fighting back and forth. Especially with the COVID situation and all that, people don't need to be basically bickering back and forth on issues that could be resolved, okay?
Yes, Judge. I'm going to send over to Mr. Flores. We may have to, if we can, between us, try and agree to a different type of visitation schedule. My client resides in the Dallas area, and previously he was coming back. But I think now that the child is in school, if in fact she has been enrolled, then that kind of limits what long periods of possession he can have. I want to say he was getting about 10 days straight previously, which may need to change now that she's actually enrolled.
The order in place actually provided that once the child was in school, it's like a standard visitation order. So those 10-day provisions are now gone pursuant to the previous order of 2018.
All right, well,
Yes,
you all work it out. If you have any issues on reaching some kind of agreement, you let me know, and we'll accommodate you, and I'll give you a hearing if necessary. I will, though, advise all of you that we are booked solidly all this rest of this month, which is just a few days, including all of next month and all of November and almost all of December. And I'm talking about having at least about 45 to 55 cases every day. So we're booked. It's going to be very difficult to try to add some more cases when we're booked solidly. Okay.
Yes, sir.
We'll try to work it out, Judge, see what we can
Okay.
figure out.
And if you don't, like I said, I'll try. But as I mentioned to you, this is a very congested schedule that we have, and that's not even including the domestic violence that I handle as well. Okay.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. You all can be excused. You all take care out there.
Thank you, Your Honor. We have no
Right.
further business.
Yeah, you all may be excused. All right, Jerry, if you can get me, then you said there's a link for the domestic